Asheville's Pax Tavern is a brand new business when you compare it to all the years of history its building holds. Is this building as old as it looks?
Absolutely. It's actually two buildings. The north building was built, the building that faces the park was built in 1907. The building just to the immediate south was built about 5 years later, 1912.
Throughout the 20th century, different businesses and their owners would renovate and modify this old building. What did you think the first time you walked in this building?
How we're going to do this because it was cut up into all kinds of small offices. Before this, it was the city and county parole offices. So everybody had an office, and all that had to be torn out and got down to the bare minimum. It's come a long way since it's when we started this project to become a restaurant today. So.
It turned out the owners of these old businesses decades ago would not rip out any old renovations. They'd simply add layers of construction.
Sandblasted the original brick. We took up 3 layers of hardwood floor to get to the original.
Literally 100 years of, I guess, progress rolled back to the original state.
This building has been a lot of things to a lot of people over the years, and we've essentially taken it back to what it was 100 years ago, and we've exposed all the original elements of the building, the original floors, original ceilings, so we really made the building what it used to be.
The legal activities that happened in the Pax Tavern building are known to historians.
But it's been a barbecue joint, it's been an automotive place, they sold tires here, it's been a mill, a lumber mill, many things.
This building, it cleaned up real nicely for us when it came down to it, and Plan A was not going to be the plan anymore, and Plan B became a tavern in a 100-year-old building. We took an old, tired building and made it beautiful again.
Stuart Coleman co-owns Pax Tavern. He and his son-in-laws, Tom Israel and Ross Franklin, first believed this old building needed the bulldozer more than a renovation. And before running a restaurant, they were condominium developers who had never thought of a Prohibition-themed tavern in a Prohibition-era hangout.
I bought a building that was in terrible disrepair, and I'm embarrassed to say this, but we bought it to tear this building down so that we could build a condominium.
What happened to change your mind?
The condominium market disappeared, and we got in the restaurant business.
What was saved in this building because the condo couldn't be built?
You know, original floors, all the original beams are the same. A lot of the brickwork is all the same. The only thing really different is we put in some windows. This used to be just totally a brick wall over here.
We didn't really even know what we were getting into until we started tearing out and realizing the ceilings were 23 feet instead of 8 and things of that nature.
And the developers didn't realize the significance of what they'd find in the basement and how it would spark their creativity.
This just kind of jumped out at us. This giant tunnel in the basement made its history clear.
The Pax Tavern basement features an old entranceway to a tunnel system that was used to run bootleg liquor underground between downtown Asheville buildings. The entrance features 2 heavy iron doors. Stuart Coleman gave us a tour.
This tunnel here, it had access to a series of tunnels on the other side, and it had a double locking mechanism that locked.
You lock inside?
You lock yourself in and you lock other people out.
So these tunnels, were they really a secret to the authorities, or were they a secret officially, but everyone knew what was going on down here?
They were not secret because they run even under the Masonic Temple, and they run up here in front of the Biltmore building, and they discovered them in the park when they were redoing the vitalization of the park. There was a series of 4 tunnels that crossed over each other, and they were severed also by utilities.
When those old tunnels were open, partiers and bootleggers could quickly flee from building to building, popping out down the street far away from where a booze crackdown would be underway.
It's the federal boys that were required to do from time to time raids.
G-men.
Yes, and those were the individuals that they announced their presence, and that would allow the building to empty through these tunnels.
The tunnel system did not survive Asheville's 20th century modernization. Only the entrance at Pax Tavern and probably a few other buildings in the immediate neighborhood might have doors or other evidence that such tunnels existed. And to think, this entrance that somehow survived last century's progress got a second life from a 21st century date with urban renewal efforts, thanks to a really bad recession.
We're happy that we were able to retain some part of the history of Asheville that would have probably disappeared during the development of that condominium.
So one silver lining in this big old Great Recession we've experienced.
It was more than one, because had I been in the condominium business right now, I'd be in real trouble, and I'm in the restaurant business and we're having a great time.
What is it about Prohibition and all the gangsters that make people today romanticize so much about?
Well, you know, part of the economy, I think, today even, you know, when we built this place, one of the things we were looking at was the whole idea that time we were kind of there again, and we kind of did this whole thing just to around that.
And so what in reality was people years ago sneaking around to drink booze and criminals supplying them with it has turned into almost folklore, almost 80 years after alcoholic beverages were made legal again. While prohibition as a federal policy has been chalked up as an overall failure and repealed, it gave rise to modern mixed drinks, some of which are still served today, like the French 75.